Hey guys, welcome in this video. I hope that all of you are doing great. In this video, we will talk about the stock market and I'm going to explain you guys what is really happening and what the market actually cares about right now and what to look for in the next few months and in the next few years. So this video will be kind of a, explanation video for you guys to really just understand what's actually happening out there. So in 2020, we have seen a lot of craziness, a lot of big movements on the market, and it can be easily to feel lost in all of this and to not be sure to understand what to look for on the chart. So this is what I'm going to explain you guys in today's video. So I'm really excited for this topic. I think it will be very interesting. And as always, I'm going to try to give you guys as much value as I can. So just before that we start, don't forget to leave a like under the video. I would appreciate it and it helps the channel grow more as it pushes the videos to more people. And well, don't forget to subscribe as well to the channel if it's not already done so you don't miss any new videos coming out. So I'm on the stock market chart. We have the S&P. Again, we could have used the Dow Jones or the Nasdaq or things like that. It's pretty much all the same thing and we can see the same movement. So 2020, we started the year right here. It went up a bit at the beginning. Then we had the whole crash because of the COVID pandemic that started to really take place across the world. So we had a big down move. If we measure this down move, this is about 35% down move, so it's pretty sizable, and then it went back down all the way. We broke all-time high right here, then we made a big correction there, and now more recently we also broke above this correction, which means that we are now back into an uptrend on the stock market. So this is the chart to see basically what happened so far this year. We could also look at a much more longer term chart to see that really since 2009 we have been in a big bull market, and just the market just keep going up and up and up. And as you guys can see, well, we are also there trading at all-time high. And so it's really important to understand why is that. Why are we trading at all-time high right now? Because if we try to think logically, right? Here we had the crash because of the COVID pandemic, as I said, but we are still in the middle of this pandemic. If you look at the cases across the world, for example, in the US, they are still going up. People are still dying, right? Hospitals are still, very largely occupied by the people who are sick of COVID. And the situation is not done. We are still in this whole situation. The problem is still there. Now, even if there are hopes and there are signs that we will get a vaccine at some time in the near future, well, just because that there is hopes and that we can see that there is a vaccine coming, it doesn't mean that everyone will have access to the vaccine right away. It will take a long time to create all the vaccines necessary for everyone and then to distribute the vaccine. And then there's the whole question of, will there be side effects of the vaccine and things like that. And then, well, even if there is a vaccine, even if, the virus goes away or, the pandemic gets under control, then, well, the economy still suffered a lot through that. People lost their job, businesses went bankrupt. So there are a lot of problems. The economy is not at its peak, yet the market is at its peak. The market is at all-time high. How can we rationalize this? How can we understand that? And why is that? So that is what I'm going to explain you guys in this video. Okay, so the first chart that we need to take a look at in order to understand this situation is the M2 money supply that we have right here. This chart basically shows the amount of money that there is currently in the system. And so if we look at 2020 and especially around March, which is where the central banks and especially the Federal Reserve started to print money, well, we can see that the pace of which they printed money increased a lot compared to the past. So before that, we can see on this chart throughout the years, it was going up, right? So they were printing money, but at a very slow pace, and it was a very constant pace. And now we can see that since the crash, they have printed a lot more money. So they injected a lot of money in the system, and that is really important, and that is the main reason why the stock market was able to recover all the losses. And it's the same reason as well behind the gold movement and all of these commodities and things like that. So this is really one of the most important thing, if not the most important thing behind all these moves that we had during the second part of the year. This chart is also interesting. So it shows the unemployment rate and it goes back all the way to 1950. 50 if you look at the left side of the chart. And as you guys can see, well, during the pandemic, we also had record high unemployment. So it went very close to 15%. And since then, it has come back down quite a lot. Right now, it's sitting around 7%. But we can see a dramatic unemployment that happened during the pandemic. So as I said, a lot of people lost their job, businesses went bankrupt and things like that. And since then, it has been able to recover, well, quite a lot. It's still, around 7%. So it's not, top level unemployment, but it's still a lot better than what we had only a few months ago. Okay, next chart that we have right here, we have the interest rate. Now, this is also very important. So as you guys can see, the rates are now sitting around 0. And that is actually a very positive point for not just the stock market, but overall markets. So if people are able to borrow money for almost nothing, then well, why not do it, right? Why not just borrow money and then invest that money if it costs absolutely nothing to do that, right? So when interest rates are low, it usually is a good tool, let's say, to speed up and to boost the economy. That's generally how it works and how people go about it. And here it's the same thing. So just because of the fact that interest rates are low, it helps even more the economy perform well. All right, next chart here, we have the dollar index. I thought of just putting that here because, again, if the USD loses value, which has been the case so far this year, we have a very nice downtrend, as we can see, then again it pushes the stock market up, it pushes commodities up and all of that. And so if we take now all of these charts in consideration that I showed you guys, so we have money supply, we have unemployment rate, we have interest rate, and we have the dollar index. Well, all of these 4 points are extremely important drivers for the stock market and the economy in general, and they are all right now going in the direction to push the stock market to more upside. And these really are the reasons, guys. Like, you don't need to search much further than this. And what the markets are basically doing right now is that they are overlooking the virus. Yes, there is the virus going on. Yes, cases are still rising. Yes, we're still in the middle of pandemic. Yes, the situation is still pretty shit, but the market does not seem to care about that. What the market cares about is that in a couple of months, well, we will start to get access to a vaccine. Maybe that in 1 year, this will be behind us. And then, well, what will happen, right? If there is no more virus, right? If the economy gets back to normal, then we will be back in the same situation than where we were before the pandemic. But the difference is that now we have a lot more money in the system, right? As we saw before, I will put again the chart right here, money supply, right? There is a lot more money than before in the system. So even if the virus goes away, well, there is still money in the system, a lot more than what we had before, which is positive for the stock market, positive for commodities and all of these things, and negative for the USD as well. And so the risk over the medium to long term is that we start to see inflation. And the reason why I say risk is because inflation can go into hyperinflation. And this is where we might see bubbles on the markets pop here and there. So we could see a bubble at some point on the stock market or on commodities or on gold and things like that. And so it's really important to kind of understand this bigger macro picture thing. But really, to answer the question of the video, which is why the stock market is up right now and why it's still going up even if we are in the middle of the pandemic, well, the simple answer is that the markets don't care anymore about the pandemic. The markets don't care anymore about cases of virus still rising. The only thing that market cares about are, well, unemployment that went back down a lot more money that is being printed and pushed in the system, and interest rates that are very low. So if you have low interest rate and a lot of money in the system, then it just creates a perfect situation for everyone to be in a situation where they can buy stocks and gold and things like that. And this could lead to inflation at some point and push everything up into bubble territory. Now, that is just one theory, one possible scenario of how all of this could develop in the future. But I think that it is a very possible scenario, and this might actually be what we see. There are other scenarios as well, which I could cover in other videos. If you guys are interested in that, let me know down in the comment section below. But in this video, that was the idea of it, to explain you guys why the stock market is still up and why everything is still going up. And that is the reason why we saw it through these charts. These are the most important points. So if you just keep following these few aspects that I explained you guys in this video, make sure that you understand all of them. I guarantee you that your view of the stock market will improve dramatically. You will know what to expect and you will know what to look for, because these are really the main drivers. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to leave a like under it. Make sure that you share the video around if you thought that it was valuable. And on that, well, take care, trade with care, manage your money well, and I will see you in my next video. Bye bye.